Good morning, student. In last class, we completed the poem A Poison Tree. And today we are going to study about the non-detailed treasure island. It is written by Robert Louis Stevenson. Before going to study that, learn about the treasure island. We knew about the first author. The original novel A Romance was written by Robert Louis Stevenson, 1850 to 1894, a gifted storyteller. And he wrote several travel stories and well-loved novels like Kidnapped, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Black Arrow, etc. It is said that Treasure Island was written for amusement of his 12-year-old Stevenson because that a detective type it is. Now detective ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಯಾವಾಗ 10ರಿಂದ 14-15 ವರ್ಷದ ತನಕ ಈ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಭಾಳ ಇರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಆ ರೀತಿ ತನ್ನ ಮಗುವಿನ ಸಂತೋಷಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಬರದಾವ. This simplified and abridged story, it is a short book it is here made that one would surely encourage you to read the much more entertaining original novel. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಓದ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ, ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ಗಿಂತ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ನೋಡೋದು ಬೆಟರ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 3 ತಾಸಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವರ್ಷ ಆನ್ಗಟ್ಟೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇದು ಟ್ರೆಜರ್ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರೆಜರ್ ಹಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಯರ್, ನಿಧಿಯನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕಾಡುವುದು. ಆ ಒಂದು ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಒಳಗೆ ದ್ವೀಪ ಒಳಗೆ ನಿಧಿಯನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಯಾರು ಹಡಗುಗಳರು ಅವರು ಒಂದಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅಂಥವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಒಬ್ಬವ ಆ ಮೇನ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಇದು ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನ ಕಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದ ಒಂದು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಹೆಸರು ಎಡ್ಮಿರಲ್ ಬೇನ್ಬೋ ಇನ್. ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಸೀರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಡ್ಮಿರಲ್ ಬೇನ್ಬೋ ಇನ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ರೆಸ್ಟೋರೆಂಟ್ and main characters Jim Hawkins and his mother name not given here, and Billy Bones, an old sea captain, old sea pirates means here ಹಡಗುಗಳರಿಗೆ, that is ship thieves we are calling pirates. And next coming Square Landmay, Dr. Livesey here, and next coming Long John Silver, that one-legged man here. He came as a cook here and also helping in that sailing. He is also pirate here. And next coming that Benton, he was also ex-crewman. He was also a pirate. And next coming the place's name here. Ship name is Hispaniola. And next coming place name Bristol here. All these are characters coming in the Treasure Island story. Started from the Admiral Benbow. Here Billy Bones sat on that big rock. He is seeing something. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ದೂರದಿಂದ ಸಮುದ್ರದಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ ಅಂತ. ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎದರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಮಲ್ಕೋತಿರ್ತಾನ. And Jim Hawkins and his mother is treating his father. He was not able, he was a bedridden man here, and lastly he lost his life also. Once a time that some thieves came and that he have that chest ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮರದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ ಒಂದು ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ. ಆ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಳಗ ಹರಿದ ಒಂದು ಅರಿವಿಯಿಂದ ಅದ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲು ಸೀಮೆ ಎಣ್ಣೆಯಿಂದ ವಾಸ ಬರುವಂಥ ಅರಿವಿ ಒಳಗ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಜಿಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅವನ ತಾಯಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರ. ಅದನ್ನ ಅವಾಗ ನೋಡೋದ್ರಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಸಾಯ್ತಾನ. ಅವಾಗ ಸಾಯ್ತಾನೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಜಿಮ್ ಹಾಕಿನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಮೇ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಲೈವ್ಸೇ, he took the help of that both people here. So at that time they met here John Silver, take as a sailor and took the ship here for the rent, that is Hispaniola, because they wanted to hunt here treasure. They moved. And Long John Silver, they thought he was a sailor, but he was also pirate. He was also planning here. And when they got the treasure here, Long John Silver killed that all people. That he is talking, that when he was talking that time, that Jim Hawkins heard that one. So here he went out and told that whatever story about that Billy Boone, that Square Landmay and Dr. Livesey here. And Jim Hawkins, here started the story. Jim Hawkins' father and mother kept the Admiral Benbow. That head of the Admiral, here that owner of that hotel is restaurant, that Jim's father and his mother, which was only the building in a lonely cove in the west of England. In the seashore, it is near to seashore, one and only there, and one ice cold winter a day, wizened old seaman with a sabre scar across his face arrived at the inn and took a room. That sabre scar means how we are thinking that villains, old villains, ಅವರ ಹಡಗು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಮುಚ್ಚಿಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರ, ಒಂದೇನೋ ಸ್ಕಾರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾಕುಲೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಯಾರು ಬಂದ್ರು. Billy Bones came to the inn and took rent for one room. His sole possession was an old chest. He did not bring anything, only a big wood box, which he guarded as a miser hoards his fortune. How he was guarding, he was his fortune, his last lucky that thing. And Billy, as the old sea dog called him here, and told young Jim to keep a weather eye out for a seafaring type with one leg. He is telling that Jim that Billy, see that is there anyone unknown person came here, tell me. And gave him a 4 pence piece for his troubles. That here Jim gave have that one here tips. And it's pity his generosity does not run to paying rent. Jim's father grumbled. Here it is a pity because he was not a generous man here. He was paying for that rent. Jim's father was having trouble making the inn pay because that Jim's father was very in trouble how to run that inn here, and he was so ill that Jim and his mother feared he would not outlive the winter. He was not living in the winter season, they thought. During the evenings, Billy would sit in his corner of the bar, drinking rum and singing 15 men on the dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum, while daytime would find him on the rocks, looking nervously out to sea. In evening time, he was a drinker, heavy drinker, and drinking rum and singing a song, and in daytime he sat on a big rock and seeing that some people are coming or grabbing his map. And it was several weeks after Billy's arrival that another mysterious seafaring man appeared, a sallow, evil-looking fellow with 2 fingers missing. Here, after that 2-3 weeks, one man came here. How he was looking like an evil, that and missing 2 fingers in his hand. He argued with Billy, and in no time the two were fighting furiously. He was arguing with Billy and also fighting very much angrily. Wounded, the stranger was put to flight, but Billy was left stretched out on the floor. At that time, he made wounding for the man who came to meet the Billy, but Billy also outstretched, dead on the ground only, fall on the ground, gasping for breath. He signed, and he was very nervously taking the breath here. Dr. Livesey, who had come to treat Jim's ailing that father, told Billy he had a stroke. Here doctor also giving a treatment that Jim's father, he only came here and treated the Billy. They are telling they have that stroke means paralysis. He bled him, put him up to bed and forbade him any more rum here. He gave the blood here and also told that ban the rum to him, to don't drink the rum. Billy called Jim to his side. His eyes burned with fever as he spoke. Here, eyes are very furious, angry. Here he is telling that time he called the Jim near to him. I must shift before the lubbers gets to me and gives me the black spot. Here, I am going I am changing this place, because that some thieves, that pirates will come and grab. Before that, they will give them black spot here. Mystified, Jim asked him to explain. He don't understand anything here, Jim. So he is asking what you are telling. Billy said that the black spot was a pirate's summons. Means they called a meeting, that black spot, when he have that one black spot, at that time their head called him. He had been a member of the notorious Captain Flint crew. He is telling that when he was a member of a crew, his head was a Flint, Captain Flint, underline that name, and he was afraid they were coming to do for him and steal his old sea chest. They will come and grab my old sea chest here. But Jim soon forgot Billy's problems, for later that night the doctor told him that his father was died, because Jim forgot whatever Billy told that tale here, because in that night only here Jim's father died. Here one more problem is there. What is that? In that Jims two are coming in your subject. That one Jim is a Dillingham, that gift of Maggie. Don't make mistake here. Listen correctly. When in the RC time, it is very much important. And here he was a Jim Hawkins. Hooker name, that surname is, that is a Jim Hawkins. And first one is a Jim Dillingham. The same day that Jim's father was laid to rest, a blind pirate called Blind Few came to the Admiral Benbow. Jim unwittingly led him into the beer, where he slapped a circular piece of black paper into Bill's hand before he could avoid him. That year, the same day when that Jim's father took that whole rest, that time only some pirates came. That not known about that they are pirates, that Jim, they came into the here in where he slapped a circular. He gave a circular of that black paper to the here Billy's hand, and but also here Jim is avoiding for that, but also they gave. And by that time, Blind Few had taken his leave again. Again he gave that paper and he leave that in. Billy lay gasping on the floor. That time he was very afraid in that and dying of a massive stroke, because already he attacked by the stroke, and once again came the stroke. That one, his last words were that pirates would be upon him that same evening. In that letter they wrote that one, that pirates are coming in the same evening. Jim and his mother quickly searched through Billy's precious sea chest. They are searching where is the sea chest he kept. And his mother took as much as coins as to cover the old pirate's rent and not a half penny more. While Jim found an intriguing bundle of papers wrapped in oilcloth, which he pocketed as a payment for his service. Alarmed by loud voices, Jim and his mother fled out into the night and hid. As Blind Few and several pirates arrived and proceeded to ransack the inn. Here, Jim, at that time he told that spirits will come and took that sea chest. So they are not waiting for that, and Jim and his mother started to search what is in a sea chest. They searched. That mother searched for the coin, that penny for that rent, and Jim searched that in a folded oil cloth, he have that one paper. He put for that, he have that money, same only. So he put it to the pocket, and when the loud voices they heard, they fled away, ran away from the inn only. They started to search the whole inn. And Blind Few and the pirates were outraged that what they sought from Billy's sea chest had gone missing. Knowing that Jim and his mother could not have gone far, they rushed outside, but before they could not find the fugitives, they were ridden down by several horsemen. Jim and his mother saw that they were sailors, were revenue officers who had been tipped off that there was a pirate ship moored nearby. The rest of the pirates had escaped, but the Blind Few lay dead on the ground where he had been. knocked down by one of the horses. Here, blind few. Now they are started to search, but they are searching, but not got that whatever they are searching here. They lost that one. They thought that Jim and his mother, they are took and ran away from this place. So they thought that they are not going far away. So come out and we will search them. At that time they are running, that Jim and Jim's mother. What happened is how that some horsemen, they are the here excise officers, that revenue officers. At that time they have that relief. They told whatever happened, they are only the savers of that us here. So they gone and told. So that one horseman started to push that one, that blind few here dead, and others people ran away from that one. And while his mother was cared for by friends, Jim was taken to Trelawney's house, where Dr. Livesey happened to be dining. The square and the doctor were local magistrates and asked to be told all that had happened that evening. That at that time all ran away. Jim's mother saved by his friends here. At that time, the square, the head of that village here, he saved by that man here. So here, the Jim and the square Trelawney both went to the Dr. Livesey's house, because he was only the magistrate, that judge of that whole village here. So they met them and they both told here, whatever happened, tell me from start to end here. And when Jim had finished his story, he produced the papers he had taken, adding that he was sure they were what the pirates had been searching for. The two men were in complete agreement, for what they had before them was a treasure map showing where the buccaneer Captain Flint had buried all his booty. Here Jim here started to tell that story, what happened in the night and day before yesterday, what happened, and completed his story. Lastly, he showed that whatever paper he brought from the sea chest here. At that time, adding that one, he was very sure that they were pirates. They were the ship thieves here. Had been searching for it, only this paper they are searching. So they gave and put in front of the boat. Yeah, the two men were in complete agreement. Came lastly, they known about the story, and they had before them was a known that one. It is a treasure map they are searching, that one, and it is the booty, means here treasure of that Captain Flint here buried, means he kept inside in the here soil. So that only they thought here. And Dr. Square Trelawney and Dr. Livesey hurriedly made plans for a voyage to the island where the treasure map lay buried. Jim was to be their cabin boy. Here they started. Square Trelawney and both here Dr. Livesey started to plan, very much eagerly planned here, very curiously, and they started to travel. They wanted to plan for the traveling on the sea here. So that island where the treasure here buried, and Jim's also taken as a boy, that a cabin boy. The square traveled to Bristol, and where he bought a fine snooker called the Hispaniola. Snooker means a ship. Ship name it is. As well as hiring a sea captain, the ship cook was to be a one-legged old sailor called Long John Silver, who had given Square Trelawney invaluable help in picking the rest of the crew. Here, the square travelled, went to the Bristol place, and he bought a good ship, that is Hispaniola. And that time they wanted a rent for a ship sailor. That is men met him, that is a Long John Silver. He have that only one leg, but he was a ship pirate here. But the Dr. Livesey and Square did not know about, and Square Trelawney have that invaluable help. He made invaluable help also. He brought some other people to going there here for search of the treasure. Jim and the doctor joined the square in Bristol on the eve of their departure. In Jim's absence, an apprentice was hired to help his mother run the Admiral Benbow. Here, Jim and doctor lastly that here joined the square in Bristol. At that time, in the evening, their departure from that Admiral Benbow. In the Jim's absence, because he was in a voyage of the treasure island here. So at that time, he made one man to carry his Benbow here in the absence of him. So he was helping here Jim's mother to run that Admiral Benbow. At first, Jim wondered whether Long John Silver was the same one-legged buccaneer that old Billy had been so worried about, but the ship's cook, nicknamed Barbecue, had such a pleasing manner and was so very friendly that he soon forgot all his doubts. Because Jim has a one doubt that Billy told that story, one-legged man come and he will took that whatever that map he is thinking about. But when he saw that Long John Silver and his behavior all about that, he know that one, so he forgot and he have no doubts about the Long John Silver here. And when Jim, the doctor and the square landman went aboard the Hispaniola the next morning, Captain Smollett demanded an urgent word with them. Here, when the Jim, the doctor and square landman went abroad there, the Hispaniola the next morning, they are started to sail. And Captain Smollett demanded an urgent word with them. That Captain Smollett here wanted to talk with them here. He said he was unhappy that he had no hand in choosing his crew. That he told that one there are no other people here, and was unhappy still that everyone knew that they were sailing for treasure. He is telling that one everyone knew that we are going to that search of the treasure here. The square admitted he had been unwise to let slip their secret and promised he would keep the treasure map hidden from everyone here. In that square landman what made, he wanted to forget that here and unwisely, that wisely he is making other, and he would keep that treasure map that secretly here he is telling. So here we put the full point for this video, and we will send next that continuing next period here, and here it comes 1 or 2 marks question answers in this lesson. Thank you students.